This is Mac OS Ken.
Recovery for iPhone in China. Ericsson and Apple keep duking it out. And isn't it kind of rude to do a podcast about the Unabomber? It is Wednesday, the 22nd of June, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. May was a good month for iPhone in China. That is the word from UBS analyst David Vogt, according to a piece from investing.com. Overall, smartphones were down 9% year over year in China. Pretty ugly considering the easy compare for May of 2021, when smartphone shipments were down 31% versus May of 2020. Month to month, those shipments were up about 16%. Vogt says data suggests COVID lockdowns and supply chain shortages on the margin are abating. 3 cheers. Things were much better for iPhone, as stated. On that, Mr. Vogt wrote, we estimate iPhone shipments increased about 13% year over year and 155% month over month as Apple took material share. That gave iPhone about 16% of the Middle Kingdom's market for the month. He and his think iPhone shipments in China are down about 9% for April and May combined, way better than the broader market, estimated to be down about 23% in China. As a result, says the site, UBS believes its 42 million June quarter iPhone estimate should already capture the potential disruptions, minimizing downside risk ahead of the tech giant's earnings release next month. In other words, that 42 million expectation is unchanged, at least officially. That said, another piece on the same note from Barron's had Vogt saying that the latest numbers increase his firm's confidence that their June forecast could be conservative. Does confidence really belong in that sentence? I'm increasingly sure that I could be wrong. Mr. Vogt has a buy rating on Apple shares. His price target on the shares is $185. The slugfest between Apple and Ericsson continues. iMore says the wireless tech company's global fight against Apple has grown by one country in the past few days, with the UK added to the list. That brings the total number to 6, according to the report. The fight centered around 5G. Until recently, says the iMore piece, Apple had a licensing deal over 3G and 4G with Ericsson. However, when this expired, Apple failed to reach a deal on a fresh licensing agreement that included 5G. Kind of a big oops, considering all of Apple's iPhones now include 5G. Doesn't sound like Apple is arguing over Ericsson's ownership of the intellectual property, but how much they should have to pay to use it. iMore says Ericsson isn't seeking any kind of ban or injunction against Apple. No calls to block the import of existing iPhones, and no hindrance for iPhones in the future, according to the piece. They just need to settle on a price, or have various courts settle it for them. No word in the report on next steps for the UK case. Apple and Ericsson are expected to meet in the US court over the same issue in 2023. Updates for Apple's productivity suite on Tuesday. A piece from 9 to 5 Mac says Pages, Numbers, and Keynote for iPhone, iPad, and the Mac each got revised to version 12.1. The updates for Pages and Numbers are kind of dull, but what do you want? They're a word processor and a spreadsheet program, respectively. Improvements listed for Pages include use mail merge to quickly create personalized letters, cards, and envelopes for multiple recipients, select from stylish new templates for event invitations and student certificates, and export your Pages documents as TXT files. As for the numbers improvement, Apple says improve performance when inserting rows and columns in large tables. There's a period at the end there, but it's not really a sentence. If any of the three can be said to be sexy, it's Keynote. Features listed for the update include: add subtle movement and visual interest to your presentation with dynamic backgrounds that move continuously as you transition from slide to slide. Select from new animated themes featuring dynamic backgrounds, and skip or unskip all slides in a collapsed group. All three apps are free, and so are their updates. Each is available in their respective app stores. More news in a moment, but first a word from Notion, one workspace for your whole team. In business, you want to be able to move quickly. Unless you work by yourself, though, speed can be a problem if one person from your team is speeding off on their own. Notion can help. Notion is an all-in-one team collaboration tool that combines note-taking, document sharing, wikis, project management, and much more into one space that is simple, powerful, and beautifully designed. With powerful integrations and seamless navigation, you will have everything you need in one spot so you can make speed your advantage while making sure nobody's speeding off on their own. For companies of all sizes, Notion provides one central and customizable workspace that can be tailored to fit any team, bringing all teams together to get more done and move faster together. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. That's notion.com/macOSKen to help you take the first step toward an organized, happier team today. NOTION. That's notion.com/macOSKen. Add a couple of Academy Award nominees to the animated cast of Spellbound. Variety says Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem are joining the Skydance Animation Apple Studios musical. According to the piece, Spellbound tells the story of Princess Elian, a young royal who embarks on a daring journey to save her family and kingdom after a mysterious spell transforms them into monsters and threatens to cover the kingdom in darkness forever. West Side Story's Rachel Zegler will voice the princess. Kidman and Bardem will play her parents, marking their second turn as an on-screen couple. Both were nominated for Oscars for their roles as Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz in last year's Aaron Sorkin film, Being the Ricardos. Plenty more star power where that came from. Other actors include John Lithgow, Nathan Lane, Jennifer Lewis, and more. Alan Menken, who penned such Disney earworms as Under the Sea and A Whole New World, will provide songs and the film's score. All of this under the direction of Vicki Jensen. She's helmed such animated features as Shark Tale and Shrek. No firm release date for Spellbound, though IMDb lists it as expected this November. And finally today, the most valuable company on the planet, also one of the world's largest tech companies, is making a podcast about a guy who thought technology would destroy society. Apple issued a press release Tuesday announcing Project Unabomber, exploring the story of serial bomber Ted Kaczynski and what drove him to his dystopian vision. According to the press release, featuring new original reporting from host Eric Benson, including access to thousands of original documents from Kaczynski's personal papers and FBI files, exclusive interviews with his brother David Kaczynski, and the never-before-told story of the original suspects in the Unabomber case, Project Unabomber tells the story of a nation and a family coming to grips with what was happening inside a tiny cabin in the Montana woods. According to Wikipedia, the Unabomber Manifesto contends that the Industrial Revolution began a harmful process of natural destruction brought upon by technology, while forcing humans to adapt to machinery, creating a socio-political order that suppresses human freedom and potential. And now you can hear his story in the car, at the park, on the toilet. All thanks to, well, you know, There's a trailer out for the show now. The podcast starts its 8-episode run on Monday, the 27th of June. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Notion, one workspace for your whole team. Learn more and get started for free at notion.com/macOSKen. This show is also supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.